Welcome to the Royal Regiment of Scotland's 2021 Virtual Burns event. Traditionally, the battalions within the regiment would hold their own bespoke Burns suppers in each of their respective locations. However, due to the current pandemic, this has been unachievable. You will now see some short renditions of some of the Bard's most famous works from soldiers within the Royal Regiment of Scotland. I will now hand you over to Chief Crony John Thompson. Thanks for watching.
Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are. I'll tell you where I am. I have the honour of being at the Burns Museum, and I'm sitting here at Robert Burns' writing desk. And while I was sitting here, I was inspired, and I've wrote a couple of words about the current pandemic. Here is the Deil's disease. Oh my Lord, what's happening within your sacred lands? All feared to come out, unless they was clapping their hands, standing in their doorsteps, tears running down their face, thanking folk they never knew, Christ, they didn't even ken their names. A nation watched, helpless, as the Deil's disease spread, wiping out their families and your age, that didn't help. People lost their jobs, your house became a jail. If the police caught you outside, they would fine you without fail. Wains were after the skill, ma's and da's all stressed, grands and grandas were lonely, hunters of folk depressed, football stadiums lying empty, bars and cafes too, COVID wards and hospitals, the only place that had a queue. But now, what's this, an answer to all the misery we've endured? Somebody fund a vaccine, my God, we can all be cured. No, no yet. Calm down, hold your beast. There's a long way to bear. They're saying another lockdown. I'm scunnered. I'm on the flare. Well, Rabbi, if you were here, you'd make a better job than me of putting words on paper, of expressing people's fears. I tried my best. That's all I can do. Will COVID rest? I hope so. Someday. Hello again. As you can see, I've changed location. I'm now in the Warrant Officers and Sergeants' Mess of 6 SCOTS up in Glasgow. Traditionally, the first poem of a Burns night is the address to the haggis. Clearly, I went against the grain there, but a thing called Rabbi in the desk there will understand. I had to take advantage of that moment. However, without further ado, we will now travel back to the Burns cottage and we will listen to the first poem, and it's going to be recited by W1 Sammy Parker, the Regimental Sergeant Major of 6 SCOTS, and it is address to the haggis. Sammy.
Your honest sonsy face, great chieftain of the puddin' race, aboon them all ye tak your place, Pinch, Tripe and N.R.M, well are ye worthy of grace, as long as my N.R.M. Your groaning trencher there ye fill, your hurdies like a distant hill, your bean would help to mend a mill in time of need, and through your pores the dews distil, like amber bead. His knife, see rustic labour dick, would cut you up with ready slit, trenching your gushing entrails brick like ony ditch. And then, what a glorious sight! One, reeking, rich, and horn for horn we stretch and strive, till tak the hindmost one we drive, till all their wheel swall kites belive are bent like drums. The all good manny like to rive, bethank it hums. Is there that there is French ragout, earlier with star sue, a fricassee would mak a spew with perfect scunner. Looks down with sneering scorn for view, on sick a dinner. Bare devil, see him ere his trash, his fakeless as a withered rash, his spindle shank a gidwit lash, his knee a knit, through bloody floods of filtered ash. Oh, how unfit! But mark the rustic haggis fed, the trembling earth resounds his blade, clapping his walling eve a blade he'll mak it whistle, and legs and arms and heads will sned like taps of thistle. Ye powers what mark mankind your care, and dish them out, o bill of fare. Old Scotland wants nae skinking ware that jupes and luggies. But if you wish a grateful prayer, gie her a haggis.
Slàinte Mhath.
Slàinte.
Great recital, Sammy, thank you. Interestingly, we celebrate Burns Night on the 25th of January. However, the first Burns Supper was actually the 21st of July, 1801. The reason why? To celebrate his birth rather than his death. Anyway, enough of that. What we're all here for is to listen to some more poems. The next poem will be recited up at the Old Kirk, and it's going to be "Tae a Louse" by Crony Cruise.
Ah, where you going, you crowling fairly? Your impotence betakes you sairly. I cannae say, but you strunt really, our gauze and lace. Though faith, I fear, you dine but sparely on sick a place. You ugly, creeping, blasted oneer, detested son by son and sinner. How dare you set your fit upon her, sae fine a lady? Go somewhere else and seek your dinner, and some poor body, swift in some beggar's hovel squattle. There you may creep, sprawl and sprattle with a kinter jumping cattle and shoals of a nation. Nor here nor bairn you're done unsettle your thick plantations. Now hold you there, you're out of sight, below the frackles, all snug and tight. Nae faith you yet, you'll no be right, till you get on it, the very topmost towering height and Mrs. Bonnet. Me sooth, right bald, you set your nose out, or plump and grey and osy rose it, over some rank, versatile rose it, a sick-hearted rose it, a dress I'd rode him. Ah, wouldn't he be surprised to spy on an old wife's flannel toy, or a wee bit some boy's wily coat? But Miss Fine Leonardi, fine, how do you do it? Oh Jeannie, dinna toss your head and set the beauties all a breed. A little Kenwit, blasted speed. The little blasses are making those winks and finger ends I dread. A notice taken. Ah, what the power the gift of gears. To see yourselves as others see us, I would free many a blunder fears and foolish nation, where airs and dress and gates would leave us, and even devotion.
Thank you, Crony Cruise, for that wonderful recital of Tae a Louse. Now our next poem we can all relate to, when we've held our gums and we've been sore with the toothache, and sometimes a wee dram can help solve the problem. So without further ado, I'm going to pass you on to Crony Chalmers with his recital of Address to the Toothache.
My curse aboon your venom sting, that shoots my tortured gums alang, and throws my luggies mony a twang, wi' gnawing vengeance, tearing my nerves wi' bitter pang, like racking engines. When fevers burn and argues freezes, pneumatics gnaw and colic squeezes, our neighbour's sympathy can sometimes eases, with pitying moan, there. But thee, thou hell of all diseases, I mocks her groan. O doon my beard the slavers trickle, I'll throw the wee tykes o'er the mickle, will round the fire the giglets cackle to see me loup, and raving mad, I wish a heckle was in their dupe. And all the numerous human duels, ill starts, their bargains and cutty stools, our worthy friends racked to the mules, such a sad sight to see. A trick of knaves or a fash of fools, I bears degree. Where be that place they priest call hell, where all the tones of misery yell, and racked and plagued their numbers tell, and dreadful raw. But thee, thou toothache, bears the bell, abun them a'. O great mischief-making chill, who o'er the chords of discord squeal, to daft mankind I dance a reel, and goes too fit, and gie us a' Scotland's wheel, a tin man's toothache.
Thank you, Crony Chalmers, for that great rendition of Address to the Toothache. Our next poem is arguably one of Robert Burns' most famous poems worldwide. and that is Tam O'Shanter. We're going to move across to the Brigadoon, where we'll find crony Donnachie, a little worse for wear, I might add, fighting against the sound of the water to give you his recital of that most famous poem, Tam O'Shanter. Crony Donnachie.
When Chapman billies lay the street and droopy neighbours meet, as market days are wearing late and folk begin to tack the gate, while we sit boozing at the nappy, getting fou and unca happy, we think they own the lang SCOTS miles, the Moses, Watters, slaps and styles that lie between us and our hame, where sits a silky, solemn dame, getting a bruise like a gathering storm, nursing her wrath to keep it warm. This truth from honest Tam O'Shanter is he for air you nick the canter all day when there are tune surpasses for honest men and bonny lassies. Ah, Tam had thou but been so wise as to nine wife Kate's advice, she told thee weel there was a skellum, a blethering, blustering, drunken blellum, that from November to October ye market day there was the sober, that ilka milder with the miller who sat as lang as thou had siller. For every nag had called a shoe on, the smith and the ye got roaring full on. And at the Lord's house, even on Sunday, thou drank the Curtin gin till Monday. She prophesied that late or soon they would be found deep drowned in Doon, or catched by warlocks in the muck, by Alloway's all haunted kirk. Ah, gentle dames, it cars me grief to think how many a counsel sweet, how many lengthened sage advises the husband for the wife despises. But to a tale, ye mak it nicht, Tam had get planted, uncorrect, fast by an ingle, blazing finely, with Raymond's swats that drank divinely. And at his elbow, Suitor Johnny, his ancient trusty droopy crony, Tam load him like a very brother. They'd been fou for weeks together. The nick drave on with sangs and clatter, and aye the ale was growing better. The landlady and Tam grew gracious for favours, secret, sweet and precious. The suitor told his queerest stories. The landlord's laugh grew ready chorus. The storm without might rear and rustle. Tam didna mind the storm a whistle. Care, mad to see a man so happy, and drown himself among the nappy. His bees flew home with leads a treasure. The minutes winged their way with pleasure. Kings may be blessed, but Tam was glorious, with all the ills of life victorious. But pleasures are like poppy spread. You seize the flower, its bloom is shed, or like the snow falls in the river, a moment might, then wilt forever. Or like the borealis race that flits there, you can point its place. Or like the rainbow's lovely form, vanishing amid the storm, nae man can tell her. Time nor tide, the hour approaches, Tam and ride, the hour of Nick's black hertz the key stain, that dreary where he mounts his beast in, and sick a nicked he tacks the road in, his ne'er bare sinner was abroad in. The wind blew as it blown its last, the rattling shower rose in the blast, the speedy gleam the darkness falls, loud deep and lang the thunder bell that nicked, a child might understand, the deil had business on his hands. Well mounted on his grey mare Meg, a better never lifted leg, Tam skerpetone through dub and mire, despising wind and rain and fire, whilst holding fast his good blue bonnet, whilst crooning o'er an old Scotch sonnet, whilst glowering round with prudent cares, lest bogles catch him unawares. Kirkalloway was drawn nigh, where geese and hoolits nickly cry. By this time he was crossed the fort, where in the snow the chapman smote, and past the Buck and Meikle Stane, where drunken Charlie's brackneck bane, and through the wind and by the cairn, where hunters fund the murdered bairn, and near the form aboon the well, where Mungle's mother hung herself. Before him, Doon pours all his floods, the Dublin storm roars through the woods, the lightnings flash from pole to pole, near him or near the thunders roll. When, glimmering through the groaning trees, Kirkalloway seems in a blaze. For ilka bow the beams were glancing, with loud resounded mirth and dancing. Inspiring bold John Barleycorn, what dangers thou could make us scorn? With tippenny, we fear the evil, we Uscapay will face the devil.
They swats that reamed in Tammy's noddle. Fair play, he cared no deal, a boddle. But Maggie stood, right sair astonished, till by her heel her hand admonished, she ventured forward in the licht, and vow, Tam saw an unca sicht. Warlocks and witches in a dance, nae cotillion brent new fae France, but hornpipes, jigs, straspies and reels, pit life and metal in thy heels. And when out bunker in the east, there sat old Nick in shape of beast, a towsy type, black, grim and large. To give him music was his charge. He screwed the pipes and got them skill to roof and rafters out the dill. And coffins stood round and open presses that shod the deed in their last dresses. And by some diverish cantrip sleight, each in their cold hand held a light, by which heroic Tam was able to note upon the healy table a murderous banes and jibbidairms, twa span lang wee unchrissant bairns, a thief nae cutted for rape, with his last gasp his garb did gape. 5 tomahawks with blood red rusted, 5 scimitars with murder crusted, a garter which a babe had strangled, a knife a father's throat had mangled, by his ain son life bereft, with the grey hairs yet stacked to the heft, with mair a horrible and awful, which even to name would be unlawful. 3 lawyers' tongues turned inside out with lies that seemed like beggars' clout. 3 priests' hearts, rotten, black as muck, lay stinking vile in every yuck. As Tammy glowered, amazed and curious, the mirth and fun grew fast and furious. The piper loud and louder blew, the dancers quick and quicker flew. They reeled, they set, they crossed, they cleekit, to ilka carl and swat and reek it, and cushed their diddies to the work, and liked it at him in their sack. The Tam, oh Tam, had they been queens, oh plump and strapping in their teens, their sacks instead of creechy flanning, been snow white 1700 linen. These breeks of mine, my only pair, that yince were plush of good blue hair. I would have gained them off my hurdies for ye blink of the bonny birdies. But weathered beldrums old and droll, redwoody hags would speed a fool, louping and flinging in a crummet. The wonder did they turn thy stomach. But Tam kent what was what fu brawly, kent aye which was wench and wally. That nicht enlisted in the corps, lang after kenned in Carrick shore, for many a beast the did she shot, and perished many a bonny boat, and shook baith meikle, corn and beer, and kept the countryside in fear. Her cutty sack, a paisley harm, that well a lassie she had worn, in longitude, though sorely scanty, it was her best, and she was vanity. Ah, little ken, that reverend granny, that sart she coughs for her wee nanny, with 12 pund Scots, 'twas all her riches, it ever graced a dance of witches. But hear my muse, my windman cure, sick frits are far beyond her power, to sing how Nanny lap and flang, a supple jod she was, and strang, and how Tam stood like yin bewitched, and for his very een enriched, even seen glowered and fetched for hen and hatched, and blew with micht and main, to first a caper, sign another, Tam turned his reason all together, and rose out, well done, cutty sack! And in an instant, all was dark. When scarcely had Maggie rallied without the hellish legion sallied, as bees buzz out with angry fright, and plundering hells aside their bike, as open pussy's mortal foes, when pop! She starts before her nose, as eager runs the market crowd, but catch the thief! Resounds aloud, so Maggie runs, the witches follow, with many an eldrick squeak and hollow. Atam, I'll get thy faring, in hell they'll rush you like a herring. In vain thy Kate awaits thy coming, Kate soon will be a woeful woman. Now do thy speed the utmost meg, and win the keystone of the brig, and ere and now the tail may toss, or run and stream the day on the cross, but ere the keystone she can make, a fainter tail she had to shake, for Nanny, far before the rest, hard upon noble Maggie press, and flew at Tam with furious hettle. But little was she Maggie's mettle, as spring brought off her master hail, and left behind her ain grey tail. The carlin had caught her by the rump, and left poor Maggie scarce a stump. The way this tale of truth shall read, ilk man, or mother's son, tak heed, whene'er to drink ye are inclined, or cutty sacks run in your mind. Think, ye may buy the joys o'er dear, remember, Tam O'Shanter's mare.
Outstanding. Well done, Crony Donnachie. Well, that brings an end to the 6 Scots Virtual Burns Night. Thank you for watching and I hope you enjoyed it. So it's a good night from me and a good night from him. Slàinte Mhath.
Happy Burns Day from the 1st Battalion, Royal Regiment of Scotland, 1 Scots. From all the soldiers and officers currently self-isolating before deployment, Slàinte Mhath.
Happy Burns Day from the 2nd Battalion, the Royal Regiment of Scotland. From all the officers and soldiers deployed in operations in Afghanistan. Slàinte Mhath.
Happy Burns Day from all ranks at 3 Scots. Slàinte Mhath.
A happy Burns Day to everyone, from all soldiers and officers from the 4th Battalion, the Royal Regiment of Scotland. Slàinte Mhath.
Happy Burns Day from the 5th Battalion, the Royal Regiment of Scotland, Balaclava Company. From all the soldiers and all the officers down here in Redford, Slàinte Mhath.
Happy Burns Day from all ranks of 6 Scots. Slàinte Mhath.
On behalf of all the soldiers and officers of 7 Scots, Happy Burns Day. Slàinte Mhath.
Hello, I'm Major General Nick Borton and I'm the Colonel of the Regiment of the Royal Regiment of Scotland. And today is Burns Night, and normally we would all be coming together as a regiment to celebrate the Bard and his great contribution to Scottish literature and to the Scottish martial tradition of which we're the guardians. Now sadly we can't do that this year, and I'm also very conscious that many of you are away from home working hard to deal with the COVID crisis, either here supporting the nation and your families, or indeed overseas on operations. So I just wanted to send you a message to wish you all a happy Burns Night, say I'm sorry we can't come together, I'm sure we will again in the future ere long, and hope that wherever you are, you can somehow mark tonight's Burns Night in an appropriate manner, and meanwhile continue to work hard to protect our families and the nation, particularly those deployed in Afghanistan but also elsewhere. So have a happy Burns Night, stay safe in 2021, and I wish you all the very best. Slàinte Mhath.